going on, YouTube? So right now, Bitcoin is at roughly $7,000 for Bitcoin. So US dollars, by the way. Okay, so some of the things that I want to address real quick is how people suffer from cognitive dissonance, or they don't really want to I guess buy into the idea of something that they don't understand, which is pretty I guess fair in a sense. you know but what I'm saying, what I'm realizing is, again, this thing with cryptocurrency, it's very powerful. It's very, very powerful. It's changing the way things are done and understood. Well, how the economics of money and finances work at an alarming rate. At an alarming rate. And I think it's important for the masses to really become not only knowledgeable, but also somewhat take a stance and do something by using the knowledge and applying it is also, I would say, even more powerful than acquiring the knowledge, right? So you have this information, and what is it that you're going to do with the information? Are you going to use it? Are you going to share it? Are you going what it because this is powerful, man. This thing here, the fact that Bitcoin, there'll only be 21 million ever created. The fact that they say in Chain Analysis is a website that I saw where 3.7 chain, according to Chain Analysis, 3.79 Bitcoin are lost. The 3.79 million are lost and will never be recovered for different reasons. People have lost their old computers, they've lost their private keys. This Bitcoin wasn't taken real serious in the beginning, and another thing. So okay, out of the coins, and I say this a lot, out of the coins that are circulating now, you know, almost 4 million about on average. Who knows the real number? But according to Chain Analysis, 3.79 million, will never be, you can consider that, subtract that, right? So you're working with, or we're working with about 14 or so million, or 13 million. And we meaning as at a global level, because Bitcoin is for the globe, right? It can't be controlled. Bitcoin is not controlled by anyone or any entity or any government or any group. You know, folks are fearful. They say China has a large percentage of the mining that takes place, is carried out in China. So, but even the miners don't control Bitcoin. Bitcoin is accessible to anyone and everyone. Bitcoin is decentralized. Bitcoin is open source. Okay. Another guy, he made a video about how Bitcoin, a regular person made a video, this foolish, ignorant video about how Bitcoin, he equated people of low value as a Bitcoin person. And you're looking at $6,998 per Bitcoin. So where's the value coming from? It has to be coming from somewhere. I'm not going to get into the details of where the value comes from, but if you do the research, you'll find an incredible amount of information to show you why this price is where it is today. Okay, something that was worth less than a penny 10 years ago is now, I mean, it went as high as almost 20, touching 20,000 in December of 2017. You know, of course, it dropped down last year in 2018, but look at where it's at today. You know, if if a person had coins, you know, 2011, 2012, 2013, even in 2000, the beginning of 2017, and they held on to the coins, they would still be up. In March 2017, Bitcoin was worth an average of $1,500. So this is very, very powerful. This is fascinating stuff, people. I can't stress it enough. I'm not a financial advisor, you know, trying to influence anyone to buy into Bitcoin, because that's not what I do, and that's not the purpose of this video, nor is it the purpose of my channel and the previous and future videos I will do and talk about cryptocurrency. But I'm watching this, and it's sort of like I'm actually documenting the growth, the changes, and the expansion that the market is creating, and how it's affecting people, and how it affect folks like you and I in the future. You know, when you have, you know, Congress, Brad Sherman announced like 2 days ago in Congress, asking for his colleagues to join him in banning cryptocurrency in the United States. I don't believe that he doesn't understand Bitcoin. He's asking that, and he clearly mentioned the purpose of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency will disempower the government and disempower its power by way of, for example, making any sanction that the United States imposes on any jurisdiction or country will render those sanctions irrelevant, because people can go around those sanctions by dealing with cryptocurrency, which is applicable to anyone, which no one controls. Bitcoin, again, no one controls it. This is huge because you have a small group of people who have been in power for a very long time. And cryptocurrency is disrupting that, is shaking it up, and allowing people to now have a say, to have some control in their lives and what they do with their financial future. It's powerful stuff. This is, I hear it, I've heard it. I believe this was make believe money. I didn't think it was serious before. You know, someone introduced me to Bitcoin or talked to me about it back in 2011. I paid it no mind. And it wasn't until around 2017 where I started to really do the research. And I'm still to this day, I'm learning about it. We'll always learn because it's somewhat complicated, but it's also fascinating. People, if you have, if you care about anything, if you care about yourself and you care about, others or family, loved ones, you have loved ones, take notice on what's taking place here, especially in the age of technology that's constantly advancing. Take notice of what's going on, because the internet isn't going anywhere. People say they want Bitcoin shut down, it's going to go to zero. They say all types of things, that, nothing is backing Bitcoin. It doesn't have any value. Gold is better, silver is better, stocks are better, old school traditional investors, they frown upon Bitcoin, banks frown upon it, governments are frowning upon it. The same time you have this congressman talking about banning Bitcoin, the US government, from a list I had posted a few videos back, there's a list, I don't know how true it is, but there's a list of people who own Bitcoin, including governments. The United States government was in that list, owning 10,000 Bitcoin. So the same, I mean, it's people are secretly acquiring it too. You know, it's not about people secretly acquiring, because everyone has a right to do whatever they want to do. But for those who are against it and who are somewhat of a public figure and they're denouncing Bitcoin, but you're also a part of a system that's acquiring Bitcoin, what does that tell you? You're part of the United States government. United States government supposedly has 10,000 Bitcoin. I don't know how true that is, but you know, and the price is steadily rising. And whether it goes up or down in USD value, some say is, you know, doesn't really matter. But in a sense, it kind of does, because there's going to be a time, if this increases, if this moves forward and grows, which it seems like it will, especially when groups like Fidelity are about to really go hard into this market, I mean, and pour trillions into this, there's going to be a time where the numbers here will seem minuscule compared to the price that Bitcoin is about to reach. You know, there's going to be a time where people won't be able to, again, own one Bitcoin. They say there are 36 million. The other day I said that there were probably that there were 36 million millionaires in the world. I thought it was in the United States, but no, in the world, they're saying. You know, folks have all kinds of numbers. I don't know where they get the information from, but let's say there's 36 million millionaires in the world. You only have today, right? And if everyone wanted, if all those 36 million people wanted to purchase Bitcoin today, there's no way that they could even have one. So the demand already lets you know that the price will skyrocket. The price will skyrocket. Some people say buy the fear, sell the greed, or, you know, buy the fear, sell the news, hodl, you know, buy and hold, keep your position, whatever. And I understand why. I understand why. $7,000 is a lot of money. It is. It's a lot of money. I'm not rich. You know, I'm not. And there are many people who are not rich. The majority of the world, you know, you have again, the elitists are few. It's a small group of people that run things, so to speak, and hold the wealth of the world, right? Very small compared to the masses who, you know, are in poverty. 7,000 though, right now. You know, the fear of losing control and losing power is so real for those elitists at this point right now. I could see it. The fear of not being able to have a say. I mean, there's even dissension within the ranks of the SEC when you have the commissioner of the SEC, Miss Pierce, I believe that's her name, saying that the U.S. is dragging their heels. Well, not the U.S. The SEC is dragging their heels, trying to figure out what to do with the regulations involving crypto. You know, but the world doesn't care. The world at large is moving forward. When you have Russia making power moves in the cryptocurrency space, when you have China making power moves in the cryptocurrency space, the list goes on. The list goes on. Other countries around the United States making power moves. And I believe the United States is also too, because this is everywhere. Like the information, because of the internet, it's worldwide. It's worldwide. Okay? Now, what does a person, again, you make your own guess, you make your own calculated decisions. I watch YouTube, so I see viewers, who express that, right now the market is, on a bull run, bull wave. So the sentiment has shifted from everyone kind of being, pessimistic or upset about Bitcoin and the crypto market in general to now people are like excited. And that's also a psychological effect where folks, are afraid to miss out on any gains and runs. And I don't like to follow waves, to be quite honest with you. You got to be balanced when dealing with these things. I don't jump on anything that's hot or anything that's not. You got to have, that's just been my thing, and that's just my opinion. Um I'm just watching this unfold, and it's crazy. I'm in shock, to be quite honest. They're saying that Bitcoin raised about 60 to 75% since the beginning of this year. What other vehicle or anything, like, can you have invested in that'll give you that type of return since the beginning of the year, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Between November and now, people, I think the price dropped in November, ever since Bitcoin forked. Well, no, I'm not gonna say Bitcoin forked, but this guy that people are criticizing a lot because he surrounds himself with controversy. This gentleman named Craig Wright. He created Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, Bitcoin SV. So when that was issued, the price of Bitcoin dropped by 50% in November of 2018, and now I think it dropped from $6,000 to about $3,000, something to that effect. And now here we are playing with 7Gs. So what's that about? I mean, like, is this still trash? Is this still garbage? Is this still worthless? Is Bitcoin a fraud, a Ponzi scheme, and has no value? And it's gonna go to zero. This digital money is going no anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And it's true. You have young people, millennials, who are just inundated with digital. Everything is connected to the internet for the young people. Who doesn't walk around, especially a young person, who doesn't walk around with some type of smartphone device? You know, they're on social media, they stream, they're enjoying themselves with the internet. They understand this digital age. They understand the digital life now. And BitConnect. Wow. Bitcoin, I don't know why I said BitConnect. Wow. BitConnect is a whole nother subject. I pause. Okay, Bitcoin, is this almost like a layer, a new type of element that, the young people are going to use, that they are using. You can send Bitcoin through Cash App and a whole bunch of other vehicles. It's what it is. You could send Bitcoin, receive Bitcoin through Cash App and a bunch of other types of wallets and mechanisms. And man, it's just widespread. Ethereum is also creating something that's almost, it seems like they're going to do the Internet 2.0. I mean, the adoption is slowly but surely increasing. Adoption meaning regular folks like you and I are going to be utilizing this thing, or be encouraged to utilize this. Robinhood, trading software you can use on your phone. You know, I don't know if they've jumped into the crypto thing yet, but there were talks about it. There were definitely talks about it. There were talks about Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, E-Trade. These things are coming. Facebook is trying to raise $1 billion to issue their own cryptocurrency. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? When you have traditional investors, old school investors like Warren Buffett, who really doesn't understand technology, and he has no problems admitting it, who just recently, you know, invested in Apple, but when Apple had already reached $1 trillion market cap, I don't know if he still owns IBM, but he had some shares in IBM, and that was at one point his only, I guess, exposure to tech, to anything involving tech. But could you imagine if Warren Buffett used the same, I guess, or invested in, the Amazons, Netflix, Google, companies like that? Who knows? When you have companies like Uber, who are, of course they issued their, I think they issued their IPO, which people are saying tanked miserably, like it was the worst IPO in history. That's what folks are saying in the news. But Uber, people didn't understand Uber when it came out, and it's now worldwide. It's a global phenomenon. It's a global phenomenon. It's you and the driver using an application and making it work. It's technology. This is technology, people. You got food delivered to your house. Uber Eats. This is technology. Bitcoin, it's almost like a no-brainer in understanding that this thing is not going away. The only way Bitcoin can disappear is if there's this widespread like shutdown of the internet, or electricity, just the grid just shuts down. Period. And if that happens, there's more that people are gonna have to worry about than just like crypto. I mean, could you imagine the whole entire electrical grid gets shut down? There's no electricity. Yeah. Well, yeah, sure that Bitcoin won't, crypto won't work, but a whole lot of other things will work too. Water, healthcare, a whole lot, man. So Bitcoin is here to stay. Bitcoin. You know what's crazy too about Bitcoin and this whole thing with crypto? I know my video is long, but I gotta say what I have to say. There's no one. Everyone can monitor Bitcoin, but what I'm trying to say, there's no security protocol. Well, I'm not gonna say security protocol, but you don't have people guarding over Bitcoin, right? Because you can't hack into the blockchain, and it's open and available to anyone and everyone. It's decentralized. How many security systems do the government? How many banks have gotten hacked, or payment processors have gotten hacked, and even retail stores have gotten hacked where their information got stolen. Even certain structures, I believe the CIA even had their information or security systems compromised at one point. You can't even say that about Bitcoin. That's crazy. Something that just was formulated on code, mathematical formula, solving equations that over time gets more difficult and difficult to solve. It's math that's running Bitcoin. Pure numbers, zeros and ones. And here we are at 6,998, May 11th. Wow. 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 Yeah, they're scared. The powers that be are worried. They're scared. They're definitely scared.